No amount of coffee can get you through it. It's like you're on your 10th cup of coffee and you're about to pass out.
Burnout's a really interesting subject to me personally. I, for a long time, thought it was just New Yorkers and it was, just people who had a certain type of personality or what have you. But I then started thinking about it a little bit more and talking to more people, and everyone I know that is in the workforce at some point has experienced burnout.
I was furloughed from work, and that was the first time in years where I had some downtime, and I crashed hard. I was sleeping like 14 hours a day. I couldn't get out of bed, and if I did, it was literally just to walk to the couch and just like watch TV, and I just couldn't do anything for like the first month after I was furloughed.
Every time I burn myself out, my life has to abruptly stop or change to like heal the ways that I have been not caring for myself.
What I call burnout and what someone else calls burnout is going to be a completely different thing. And even what I call burnout, there are so many different types of it or ways that it can occur. So it could be like an emotional burnout. It can be just like a physical burnout, or just like a burnout from doing one thing too much.
I was recently moving to New York City, and I didn't have that strong community built in. And while I was trying to build that community, it felt that it was really hard to connect to people and to follow through. Because I think that as a generation, as millennials, we have a very tight schedule.
We're not as connected as we used to be. I think we're wasting a lot more time than we used to. I think that our experiences are mostly imagined, actually. I like to think about like the person who's at the party taking selfies of themselves, who's miserable, making themselves look really good or look really cool, but they're not at a cool party. They just look like they're at a cool party.
And so we've essentially disconnected, partially because of culture that teaches us to, be on our phones all the time. And if you're not, well, what are you doing? Why aren't you connected? Why aren't you relevant and keeping up with the times?
We're either always talking about work or goals or something that we haven't done or haven't accomplished.
I also think that, for me, I graduated from college in 2009. So that is right in the middle of the 2008 financial crisis. And finding a good paying job when there are no jobs, period, and you're fresh out of college was impossible. To this day, that financial crisis has had an impact on us because, I can't afford a house. I have a great job, a well-paying job, but, I live in Los Angeles and a house is it's out of my reach. But I still have to strive towards that if I still want the ideal, house, family, job.
Just being an artist in today's world, it's a little overwhelming. When you are a singer-songwriter, you're not just a singer-songwriter. When you're independent, you have to be your own manager, your own agent, your own designer, your own photographer, your own social media expert. And you're trying to do all these things, and you're trying to balance all these things together. At the end of the day, you might end up doing everything but writing music, and that adds up frustration on top of all the time that you spend, and all this work that you're doing is basically a work that you do for free.
And so we can protect ourselves from burnout by having appropriate boundaries, but also setting those boundaries with some empathy and with some love.
I had to learn that it was okay to not do everything at once. It's okay to not be a full social justice warrior and be fully involved in volunteering in addition to everything else that I do. And I know that in the future, you know, when I'm finished with school, I'll have more time for other stuff.
You know, I think it's also put into perspective that there's a lot more things out there other than work. And like family is more important than work, and health is more important than work.
Reserve 30 minutes of the day to do any physical activity. If it's yoga, if it's Pilates, if it's bar, if it's just weights or simply dancing. And I do little rituals. Like, for example, today I want to cultivate gratitude and compassion. And so I use the heart and I say, today I'm just going to focus in 5 things that I'm grateful for.
I wrote a Facebook post explaining what I was going through in a way that it was not a call for pity or compassion. I just said, I know I'm a lucky person. I know I'm living my dream. I know there's a lot of good things in my life, but also this is all the things that are going through right now. And this is all the reasons why I'm stressed. So if you meet me, give me a hug, or if you see me out, buy me a drink, or send me a funny meme. And the response was incredible. So many people reached out privately and sent me messages of reassurance and messages of support.
There's an individuality and identity politics that's very important to how we live in the world right now. There's this fear of being basic, and then there's like this need to be highly individual, I don't know, like a cool identity or something like that. When you align with a basic value, let yourself be basic. Don't try so hard to be not basic, because girl, that's probably not who you are.
Stopping and smelling the roses is a choice that you make. And it's basically a choice that's based on, you know, do you want to enjoy your life in this moment or not? Despite whatever's going on, do you want to enjoy your life? So the roses can mean anything. The roses can mean your friends. It can mean your family, your colleagues, financial security, physical health, with all the things in your life that are going on, the stresses and the, you know, chasing this and that and the pressures and all of that. Do you want to make the choice to enjoy the things that you have in your life? Or do you want to choose not to enjoy them?
If you need someone to listen to the very, very, very depth of your soul, like someone who's gonna sit with you through every single layer of your being, but is also like already at the very calm pool at the center of your being, like where it reflects your true self. If you want somebody who listens to that and who is gonna help that grow in the world and hold an infinite space and an endless, timeless space for you to be able to listen to that, that's what Emma will provide for you. 100%, more than 100%.